As I've explained on the previous video, there are benefits in modeling your building in SketchUp during the schematic phase. So, good evening. The purpose of this video is to explain how to use SketchUp in developing your elevations and sections. So, once you have 3D modeled your building in SketchUp, um, I'm using the free version. It's it's a really one-step process. But if you do a export and you want to export in DWG, a two-dimensional object, it will ask you to upgrade. So this conversion process in SketchUp only happens on a paid version. So if you're using a free version, we're going to use a different set of tools. So first thing we need to do is we need to change our style and search your different styles and go to the default styles. And what you wanted to do, if you don't want to see all these dotted lines, so clicking this first box here uh, should get rid of that one. Okay. There are other styles too that would get rid of that one. Um, so if you don't want a lot of colors, you can select those muted ones. But before you do that, you also want to go to your scenes and go to down to an ortho scene and look at the front view for your front elevation. Okay. You want to zoom as close as you can. And don't select a scene where you don't see the lines or a lot of lines like this one. You want that style. Okay, so I lose the style or I would lose lines for the vertical or the horizontal lines on the balcony railing. Okay, so you want to pick a style. I don't want this also because I don't see that railing. So you want to pick a style where you can see all of the lines. Okay, so this one is good. Too heavy or maybe too colorful, but really it's gonna be everything that has those styles will show it. Okay. Um, you can control the thickness of those lines. I can't remember if how to do it in the free version. I can do it on the paid version. But once you have this set up like this, where you can see all the lines that it's important to you, you're now ready to export this as a PNG. So we go to File, and then we go to Download, and we go to PNG, and then you want to click this link over here, and then you type in a number here. 4,000 should be good enough. Press enter, and it's 4,000 pixels by 1,935. And if you wanted something higher, it might take us a longer time to generate that. 8,000. Press enter, and it's 8,000 by 3,870. And when you have the correct pixel, you can click export, and then click export. And then it should take a little while for this to export because it's 8,000 pixels. The name of the file now is scheme1 parentheses 2 because I did this several times. So simply click this and show folder. It should say that this is the scheme that we're doing. Uh, let me so scheme1 with parentheses 2. So now that the PNG is downloaded, we want to go and open up Google and search for a converter. So we want to convert a PNG to a DXF. Okay, I've always been using Convert.io. So let's try that, but you have other conversions also here, and I'm not sure which one is the best, but I've been using Convert.io. So let's click that and then choose the file, and then scheme one parentheses two. We're going to convert that to a DXF. DXF stands for Drawing Exchange File or Drawing Exchange Format that AutoCAD uses. So we want to convert that. So we're going to click Convert, and then we're going to wait until the blue download button appears over here. Okay, when the blue download button appears over here, that means that the file is ready for downloading. It is now in the DXF format where we can use that for AutoCAD. Okay, so once you have the DXF file, you click the blue download. On the left side, it should now download. The name of the DXF file is scheme1-2 DXF. Okay, so click this, show folder. It's in the downloads folder, and it's scheme 1-2. So this one over here, scheme 1-2. Okay, So now we are ready to go to AutoCAD, and the command to put in the DXF is DXF in. Press enter, and then scheme 1-2, that's this one here. So double click, and then AutoCAD is inserted the DXF file, but we might not see it right now until we zoom extents. Okay, zoom extents is E, and then there you have it. Okay, so inspect the file. We have the lines here. We have that person on the side, um, and we can now use this for our sections and elevations. Before we continue, let's do a little cleanup. So I want to leave this guy here, but I do not want to see all these little dots. So I may want to just erase that. Whoop, erase and erase these dots and erase these dots as well as this one. This is part of the X and Y axis. If I delete that, it deletes this whole thing because it's set as a group. So I want to explode that. And now it's exploded. I can now delete this portion. Okay. And now we have a lot of double lines here that we can clean out. Before that, I don't want to sketch up the SketchUp word here. Oh, I want to trim this is too long, so I do want to draw a line. And then I wanted to do a trim and trim this and erase all the extra lines here and delete that too. Okay, so let's create layers and layers that uh, on the elevation are typically just called pen 1 and set it to red. Okay, and then you can do another pen 4 and set it to cyan. And then you can do another pen 6 and set it to magenta. Okay, so you can do all the pens if you want. Um, Because in elevation, you're not particularly concerned of what this line is for, so you're simply uh, drawing an elevation and assigning pen thickness on it. And so let's select everything and put this first in layer pen 1, so everything becomes red. And there you go. Now, before you work on anything, let's do a scale. So we know that the edge of the building, let's make this as the edge of the building here. Okay, so let's pull that down. Whoop, let's turn on our ortho. And this line here is the other edge of the building, so let's pull that down. And what we want to do is we want to set this to a distance of 40 feet because from the property to the property is 40 feet. So we're going to do a scale, and we're going to scale all, and we're going to select, press enter, or the base point as this point or that point, doesn't matter. Select this point, and at this point we can now scale it, but we don't want to scale it like this. We want to specify a distance or a length to reference. So we're going to do a reference, and we're going to reference from this point to perpendicular. So PER, enter, and then point to this one. And then you still don't want to click. You want to type in a distance of 40 feet. So type in 40 and then put feet. Press enter. It looks like it didn't accept that. So I'm going to press escape, and I'm going to check my units. If this one is not set to architectural, it will not accept feet and inches. So make sure it's set to architectural. Click OK. Yes, now we can do our scale, and we're going to scale all and press enter, enter. We're going to select a base point, this endpoint here. And we're going to use a reference, so R reference. Pick this point again and do a perpendicular to this point here. And then we want now this one to be 40 feet. There you go. So that's now 40 feet. I'm going to zoom extents, zoom extents. Boom. There you go. Okay. Now, why did it went back to layer white? Thought I said change this to layer red already. So select that and change the layer pen. There you go. Okay. So now that we have it in the correct scale, We go now to layout, and we double click here, and then we set the scale to, we want to have it printed as 1/8, and that's a very, very small object over there. Okay, let's undo. Oh, oh no, not undo, but double click outside and do a page setup. And we want to set this current and modify it so this one prints to a PDF, and then change this to ACAD CTV, and then we want to plot a layout and everything else and click OK and then close. And you may not see where the drawing is, so you need to zoom out, and that's where the viewport is. Okay, so you want to click on the viewport, so you can adjust the viewport and bring it to this corner here. Okay, and do the same thing here, select that and bring that to this corner here, and then we're going to bring the height down, so click that and bring it down to this point here, and do the same thing here, click this and bring it up to the bottom point over here, and then we're going to now move that viewport to the paper. Okay, so we're going to simply type in M for move, select this point, and then turn off your ortho, and then bring it back over here. Okay, now you can still adjust this, and then move the viewport, center it on the paper. Okay, if you don't want to see the viewport, you can always hide that. And let's do that. Let's create a layer and name that viewport, and then change the color to a gray color. Click OK, close it, select the viewport, change it to layer viewport. Now it's gray. I don't want to see the viewport, so click the layer and then turn off the viewport. Okay, so now let's do a preview. So preview, and then that's how it's going to get printed. Oh, the viewport is still getting printed here. So let's press escape. The viewport is supposed to be gone, but it's still printing it for us. So we're gonna, I don't want to freeze it, because when you freeze the viewport, it might turn off the build. No, it didn't. So it's still preview now. It's still showing the viewport. I wonder why that viewport is being shown. Anyway, I'll close it and fix that later. But yeah, so we want to scale that, set the paper to 8.5 by 11, change the scale, double click here, change the scale to 1/8 per foot, lock it. It's not lock it. Oh, it is. And then make everything red, and then we can change the colors or pen assignments next. Okay, so at this point you want to now save this, so we'll go ahead and click file, save as, and let's name the file and put it on the correct folder where we want everything in. So I save my file in EDT 220 AutoCAD files, and let's call this base, and we call it base elevation, base 11. Okay, and then click save, and then there you go. And then we're going to clean up the double lines next. Because we are using a free version of SketchUp here, we have to download this as a PNG, and then use convert IO to convert the PNG into a DXF. Okay, and that certainly created for us a drawing that we can import in AutoCAD, but we have to still clean it up. Okay. In particular, if I do a preview on this one, I have these thick lines, too thick of a line showing up on here, and I have these double lines that I really should not have. So to clean that up, press escape, and we're just going to delete uh, either the outside or the inside. Okay, so let's just delete the inside. Oop. go to model space, I'm sorry, and then erase, and then delete this file. Oh, I just deleted because it's one object. Hopefully this one too. There you go. It is this one. Yeah, delete that. I don't want this corner here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an explode in this one. Erase those corners, and then erase these lines too, except for this one, uh, except for one. And then I'm gonna do a fillet, and then do and connect those using fillet. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select uh, this box here, and then put that in a layer that's a little thicker, maybe layer 10, layer 4, I mean pen 4, okay? And that would make it a little thicker, that means sticking out by much. Now the outline of the building, let's trim this first, and this other one too. The outline of the building here, you see that there's double lines, and we don't want double lines. So we're gonna delete this, but it's part of this whole group. So we're gonna explode this, and then delete this line and the line here and the line here. Oh, now we're gonna explode that too. Delete that line. So it does involve a little cleanup, uh, and it and we have that because we are using the delete this whole thing, and then delete that corner, and so we're using a free version and converted it from we want to delete this too, and then we can connect this here. Oh, perpendicular, and then we want this outline of the building from here. Oh, where is it? Okay, here we go. So I wanted to delete everything here and then connect this with a fillet, this line here to this line. Okay, actually there's two lines here, so I'm going to delete that too, and then simply connect that or pull that down and do a trim. So whoa, something's happened. Okay, so we're just going to erase all of this double lines here. Let's probably erase this whole thing there. There you go. And sometimes you don't want to show this sticking out here, and that's your call. Erase this, and that one, and then this and that one too. All right, there you go. Okay, now I want the outline, this line and this line to be in pen 6. Okay, this one too to be on pen 6. And then we don't want this line here, and then we don't want this, and then we don't want this color corners over here. So we want to fill it that one, and then just use a match property, and then do that, and this one too. Okay, and erase this, and then maybe select this whole bottom portion here for the floor and put that in color pen 6. There you go. Why is there something clicking here? Anyway, we don't want this double line here, and we want this line to go all the way down. So I'm going to erase all of this over here. What is this line? Oh, this is the cover for the balcony. So we want to erase this and erase this, and then just connect this to would that be connected? Now this one is actually the division of the floor, so we're gonna leave that. This one we probably want this to be color 4, but this one you want this all the way down. So I'm gonna use my ortho and then just pull it all the way down. Oop, it didn't pull that up. Delete that. Delete this. No, I don't want to delete that. So I'm gonna pull this all the way down here. Go and then do a trim. Uh, this one also I want to remove this, erase this in the corner, and then do a line from here all the way to here, and then trim this, erase this, and then I wanted this one to be the same as this one, and this one too. Erase this and do a fillet. Okay. All right. Now maybe this one, I'll delete that. So you're not drawing any new lines, but you're just modifying the old one. Let's see. Let's do a save first. Let's do layout and then do a preview and see how it looks like. All right, there you go. So the outline of the building is thick. I don't have that much thick of a line. This one is when you look at it, it does have a lot of lines here, but they are thin, so I think it's okay. I may want to delete this line here. Uh, I see a double line here popping up, so I'm gonna clean that up. So press escape. There you go. That's the double line that's bugging me. So double click here so I can delete inside. I don't want this. Oh, we have to explode that. So I don't want to delete. I don't want to see that. And this one too. And this one too. And this one too. Oh, there's a lot of lines there. Okay, and then explode this too. So I can delete all these lines here. And then clean that up. Okay, delete that, delete this, and that one too, and that one. So it does have a lot of cleanup that you need to do. Uh, Doing it from scratch is, I think, gonna certainly pose more problems and require more time. So this doing it in SketchUp has these benefits, although you just have to do a little cleanup. Okay, and then I want to clean this up. Do a fillet here, and I want this edge here to be the same as, I'm going to say this edge to be the same as this one, and then do the same thing here. I want this one to be the same as this one, and I want to pull this all the way to the edge here and do a trim and erase this. Okay, so let's do go to layout. Oh, I didn't lock the scale. There you go. Now keep a space, zoom extents. Where's my scale again? Ah, zoom extents. Turn my viewport, and then zoom extents here. Zoom extents. There you go. Change it to 1/8, and then make sure I lock it. There you go. Now it's locked. Now turn off my viewport. There you go. Now it's good. What are these different lines here? It's just a ghost image. Then I'll do a preview, and then if you're satisfied, then yeah, we'll give you that one. You probably want some lines here. You want some lines there. If you want a bigger scale, click cancel, double click, unlock. Would it fit a 1/4 drawing? I don't think so. But let's double check. Turn on the viewport, click this one, and bring it to the very edge here. And let's just see whether it will print on 8.5 by 11. Almost, but no, it didn't. So let's do an 8 and then lock it and then turn off. Is my viewport turn off? No, turn off. There you go. Do a save, do another preview, and let's see whether it looks good. And that's going to be your elevation, preliminary elevation, and then you can work on the sections next. And yes, it does involve a little bit of work cleaning it up, and that's because we use a free version of SketchUp where we have to download a PNG and then convert the PNG to a DXF and then open the DXF in AutoCAD and then do a little cleanup. But if you have access to a paid version of SketchUp, uh, then it's one less cleanup, or the work is much faster. So let me show you how that looks like. So here's the free version of SketchUp, and if I run my uh, paid version, which is a pro version, it's an app on the or a program on your Windows computer, and it runs separately. So here's a pro version, and I wanted to open this as a pro version, and it looks different. So this is how it looks like. Let me minimize that so you can see all the windows. This one is the pro version of SketchUp. Let me bring this down some more. Okay, there you go. So this is the pro version of SketchUp. It's a 2021 version. There's another one for the 2022. You do have to pay for this one unless you get a hold of a free one um, or an older version. But it does do our work, or it does do a lot of shortcuts for our work. Okay, so if you did your version on free, if you did your model in the free version, what you can do is you can click here and download a SketchUp SKP file, and then you want to say, oh, I want to do a 2021 and newer, and click OK. And then the name of this one is Scheme 1 SKP. So I switch to my pro version and I do a file and I do an open. I go to my downloads and click on Scheme 1, and it should open it for me with a warning that there's a previous version here, and if they recommend that you update or install latest version of SketchUp because this is a 2021 version. So I simply click OK, and it will open it for me. So this one is now on the uh, paid or pro version of SketchUp. This one is the free version, okay? And this one is now opened on the pro version. On the pro version, I can do a file and then go to export, and I want to export a 2D graphic. And the 2D graphic, I can select from a DXF or a DWG. That means direct to AutoCAD. So I click DWG. I go to my EDT AutoCAD files and let's name it Scheme 1 drawing, and then click export. So didn't take that long, really instantaneous. Go back to AutoCAD, start a new file, and then we're going to open actually. Open and go to wherever you're saving all your um, files. Mine is called the EDT 320 AutoCAD files, and I need to find Scheme 1. Here's Scheme 1. We'll click Scheme 1 and click Open. And then continue opening AutoCAD. Yes, open it, and there you go. So as you can see, there's no double lines here. Okay, there's no double lines. I have all those detail lines. Okay, I have this guy here, much cleaner. I don't really have to do any cleanup whatsoever. Okay, because it's um, exporting from this view, and it's exporting a vector, and it's I don't really have to do a lot of cleanup in AutoCAD. Okay, and so it does make my work a lot easier compared to this other one here, right? If I do that here, you can see there's like double lines, there's missing lines here, there's a lot of extra lines here. But if I switch to the one from the pro version, you can see all the lines here exactly how it is. So yeah, so the free version has its hang-ups, but the pro version does provide a better solution and much less work compared to the free version. Okay, so if you can get your hands on the pro version, it will make your work a lot easier, but it will cost you money unless you get a free version of that drawing. Okay, so let's go back and create a section. This is basically your elevation. Create a section out of this preliminary elevation. Okay.